Everybody, it's me, Andrew. Get out into nature and tune in for yourself. Resonate with the Earth's electromagnetic field via 432 hertz, the universal frequency. Balance out psychologically and emotionally, and further strengthen your brain and your heart's coherence as well. Get a plant based diet going for yourselves today and nurture yourself right back into life. Further balance out your physical body's pH level and get with alkalinity. Then you can generate some static electricity. Send me some love telepathically, send attention to your mind, and set intention to communicate. That is all there is to telepathy. You are now tuning in to great days. So today I want to talk about mental complexes and how complexes ingrained in the mind or built in the mind, structured, are housing or are supporting systems of slavery, right? So let's get into this. So mental complexes once again, and I've been talking about complexities of mind and how they're here to pretty much keep us entangled within the illusory world or society, Maya, right? Which they are. But I wanted to get more into various different slavery systems and control systems that are also kept together and supported by the various different mental complexities that are built in people as they are growing up, right? So we're all pretty much born. When we're born blank slates, right? We're born innocent, we're born pure. Um, and once you start growing up a little bit more, you start getting corrupt, right? Your body starts picking up various different information all throughout your life, and the environment that you're growing in or you're living in is pretty much going to decide who you're going to become, right? So um, if you place yourself like in Texas, you're gonna grow up very Texan, right? If you're growing up in like Mexico, you're gonna be completely different. You know, natural environments. If you grow up in a natural environment, um, which is more of a native people, then you're gonna grow up very different from a person who is grown in the city. You know, and people who are pretty much living in cities or in societies um, are very much corrupt, right, with various different information and systems. And these systems are building various different mental complexities, and they're pretty much inducing the inhabitants of the society with conditionings and handing out programs, right? And the conditions are here to keep you in a certain state of density. So the conditions are here to keep you in a certain state of density, right? So that you can pretty much stay within that various world, right? So like whenever you're using social media, there's terms and conditions. If you don't follow the terms and conditions, you kind of get kicked off the platform, right? It's the same thing with society. If you're not going to follow conditions or if you're not going to live on their terms, you are going to get thrown in jail, or you're going to get fined, or you're going to get thrown out, or you're going to get killed, right? But none of that ever it happens not to people who are aware that the reality is manipulated by themselves, right? So never really happens, okay? Because people are always following conditions. Otherwise, they'd be put out of the society, right? So, if you're not following the conditions of society, then there's potential for these things to happen, right? Just like not following the conditions of a social media platform, you get kicked off. You get kicked out of the society, right? Completely out of your own will. And mental complexes are here to support these various different things, right? Complexities are here to entangle you deeper in that whole system of um, of slavery, right? That's pretty much it. Um, so the slavery systems are very deeply ingrained in people because this is the karma that has been given to them, right? This is what people are growing up in. The bodies that we are reincarnating in are pretty much in a predetermined slavery system, right? But that can be changed if you understand how to dissolve away the karma, right? Which is simple. It can be done if you are able to come to a Kundalini awakening, right? Which then you can shift your reality exponentially, you know. But if you when you're just born in, especially in societies, you're kind of born into a system of slavery, right? So um, the mental complexes are here to keep people entangled within that system, right? So these are here to keep you in the world, um, within Maya, which Maya is here to keep you from enlightenment, right? The illusory world is here to keep you from being able to come into an enlightened state, or even maybe even raise the Kundalini energy, which is why a lot of the things in society are keeping people in a very, very low vibrational state, right? Because the more that you're able to rise your energy, the Kundalini is going to come all the way up to the Sahasrara, right? And from there, you can do a lot more when it comes to dissolving with the karmic body, right? But the autonomous system that is in place is pretty much supporting that people won't immediately be able to do this, right? Through keeping them in low vibrations or in healthy states of mind and body. Um, Mental complexes, once again, are keeping you in a complexified state when life isn't complex, but this is just to keep you entangled and insane in an insane society, right? So the complexes themselves are supporting slavery, right? Because people are born slaves. Most people are born slaves unless you're born in like a royal family. Um, but most of the masses are born slaves. And most people don't see this either because they don't want to see this, right? But that's the truth. People are slaves, and we are all slaves here, unless you're able to free yourself, right? Which you free yourself by living in the heart. You come into the heart and you have an experience of oneness, right? You can liberate yourself in this way. Um, and through this, you can kind of free yourself up from some of the complexifying systems that have been implemented into people, right? And once you're able to dissolve these, the slavery within you that's been deeply rooted also dissolves. So the karma is dissolving as you're able to touch upon the heart and simplify things once again, because life isn't supposed to be complex. Life is simplicity in its nature, and this is what gives us life, the simplicity of life. This is how life regenerates itself and gives itself energy uh, through the most simple way possible, right? Which nature is very simple. If you're living in harmony with nature, things are very, very simple, and everything is given to you. That's energy coming to you, attracting. You're attracting energy, you're attracting life, and you don't have to pay for it. You don't have to do anything. But that's if you're living in harmony with nature, which society isn't doing. Society is living disharmonious with nature for the very reason that it's an illusory world and it wants to keep you in mental chains so that it can keep you entangled within the illusory world to keep you from your true nature of being a god or a goddess and attaining enlightenment, freeing yourself, right? So they want to keep things complex because it's structured that way. It's structured very complex, right? And disharmonious, and in a very low vibrational state. You know, we're kept in very low vibrational states because these are the conditions of society, right? And the way of lightening yourself up is becoming lighthearted, right? You need to become lighthearted. You do this by touching upon the heart. You know, you touch upon the heart, you have a universal experience of oneness, and you have love for everybody. Unconditional love is expressed. You know, you found the um, the kingdom of God, right, which is within you. So you gotta touch upon the heart. You gotta simplify things, and life is gonna come. You're gonna flourish with life, right, and you're gonna become lighthearted. Complexes like guilt complexes, there's much more complexes, but guilt complexes is one of the ones that I want to talk about. Um, is It's a complex to have you breed or house. Um, it's a complex, right, which houses guilt identities, a guilt wavelength, right? So once again, we're all born innocent. We're all born pure. We're born blank slates with karma. The karma is kind of something that is ingrained with us, right? But it's pretty much built upon as we start to grow a little older. Um, and what they like to do is they like to get you to question if you're guilty or innocent, right? For like the various different systems that they got for imprisoning people, um, and mental imprisonment, right? Um, they do that because it brings you into a heavy heartedness, right? Which being in a heavy heart is one way to bring down your wavelength. So they want to keep you in a dense state, in a heavy heartedness, rather than a lightheartedness, so that they can keep a control over you, a slavery over you, right? It's very, very simple. Um, and complexes, having complexes is building false identities within you, right? Which those false identities, if enough are built, you you kind of then start cycling in a reincarnation system, which you can, if it gets bad enough, if you get dense enough, it can become it can become something that takes you lifetimes to be able to dissolve away, you know. So complexes like mental complexes and apartment complexes these are the same thing in a way because they're part of the same complexifying system. This is why they're called complexes, because they're here to complexify things. They're here to create complexity in life so that it keeps you entangled within a state of poverty, right? Or a state of enslavement. So mental complexes are here to support enslavement, and you don't want to support enslavement because it's going to keep you within slavery, right? Um, so don't support slavery, don't support your own slavery, um, but more so touch upon the heart, forget about where slavery can exist, which is in the mind, and find the heart space, right? And go deeper into the heart space and simplify things, because slavery is a part of the complexifying force or the complexity system. So if you simplify things, slavery dissolves away along with karma. Um, so you can kind of liberate yourself if you just simplify things, right? Um, so simplify more, don't complex everything in your life, because what is complex is very entangling, and what is entangling is karmic, right? And you don't want to have too much karma because it can weigh you down. So you need something to light you up, right? You need something to bring you into a lighter vibrational state, uh, and you get in harmony with nature. This is what you got to do for yourself, so that you can attract more life-giving things into your life, rather than repelling them and attracting things that are gonna bring you into densifying states, right? You don't want to keep a dense vibrational wave, because this kind of keeps you within the conditionings, right? Which what you want to do is you want to dissolve away conditionings, layers of conditionings that have been built within you, right? Because dissolving away the layers of conditioning is the remedy. This is a integral step in coming to a freedom, right? So once you start kind of living in harmony with nature again, then layers of conditioning are going to be stripped away very, very slowly, right? Um, and that's what is needed. It's an integral step, once again, very, very integral. And it happens to everybody who is um, doing that for themselves, right? So you got to do this for yourself. You got to simplify things, because the complexes, they're only housing you to continue building a system that is supporting your own enslavement and your own poverty, right? And your own poisoning. These things are common within the minds of people. So these are the diseases, these are the ailments, right? These are the things that are bringing you out of your ease, out of your peace, which is found in the heart, right? These are the chaotic things, which are natural. They're very natural. But when accumulated, they can get nuclear, right? And these are the things that leads us to nuclear holocaust or nuclear warfare, is when it's collected and suppressed until it blows up, manifests, right? In world war, nuclear world war. So definitely got to do it for yourself as an individual. You got to um, you got to release that for one, and you also got to simplify things, because things never need to be complex ever. They can get complex, but they don't need to be complex, which is what we have been conditioned into. We've been conditioned to think or believe. Belief systems have been programmed into us to have us believe that we need to live absolutely complex, right? But we don't need to live complex. Things are very simple. They should always be simple. Um, and that is what gives life, right? That is what allows us grace. That is what allows us to levitate. That's what allows us to ascend, you know. um, that's what allows us to defy gravity, the grace, and the grace comes with simplicity, right? So this will be it for today's video. I do thank everybody for watching. Once again, peace out, one love, and have a great evening.